Listen to me closely, because what I am about to say will shake something deep within your spirit. You may have been searching, waiting, or wondering when that one person, the one your heart has longed for, will finally enter your life. You may have looked around and thought, where is the one meant for me? But hear this truth clearly. God never forgets who belongs to you. The timing of your connection is written in the very fabric of your destiny. Before you ever met them, before you even prayed for them, God had already decided the hour, the place, and the way your paths will cross. When God introduces you to your soulmate, it will not be through chaos, confusion, or desperation. It will not come through chasing, pleading, or pretending. It will come through alignment. God never brings the right person into a life that is out of order. He brings them when your heart, your faith, and your purpose are positioned where He wants them to be. Sometimes you must walk through seasons of silence before that divine introduction takes place, because God wants to make sure that when He brings them, you will recognize them not by their beauty, not by their charm, but by the peace your spirit feels in their presence. Many people rush to find love. They move ahead of God's timing. They become impatient and attach themselves to people who were never meant to walk the journey with them. But God does not work through impatience. He works through preparation. When you are waiting, you are not wasting time. You are being refined. Every delay is divine training. God uses solitude to mature your emotions, strengthen your wisdom, and sharpen your discernment. You cannot receive a soulmate while you are still confused about who you are. God reveals your identity first, so that when your soulmate arrives, you will not mistake companionship for completion. You are already whole in God, and your soulmate will complement that wholeness, not complete it. When God begins to prepare two people for divine connection, He starts in secret. He works behind the scenes, often through separation and silence. He removes distractions, wrong influences, and counterfeit attachments that could distort your focus. He will even close doors you wanted to keep open because He knows they would interfere with the introduction He has planned. Sometimes you think God is taking someone away, but He is actually making room for the one who truly belongs. That is why many divine introductions happen after heartbreak, after disappointment, after a period of emotional stillness. Because it is in that silence that your heart becomes sensitive to the whisper of God. It is there you begin to understand what real love feels like. It is peace, not anxiety, certainty, not confusion, consistency, not games. When God introduces you to your soulmate, it often happens unexpectedly. You will not need to force it or manipulate it. It will feel as if the universe suddenly aligned. But in truth, it is God orchestrating every detail. You will notice signs, divine patterns that confirm this connection is not ordinary. You will meet them at a time when you are focused on your purpose, not chasing affection. That is how God works. He doesn't send your soulmate when you are desperate for attention. He sends them when you are devoted to your calling. Because your soulmate is not a distraction from your purpose. They are an extension of it. They will not pull you away from God's will. They will push you deeper into it. Understand this. God introduces your soulmate when you are spiritually ready to handle them. Love is not a reward for loneliness. It is a responsibility for maturity. You cannot carry the weight of a divine partnership if your character is still fragile. That is why God takes time to mold you. He tests your patience, disciplines your emotions, and builds your spiritual strength. The introduction to your soulmate is sacred. It must not happen before you are capable of loving without fear, forgiving without pride, and giving without expectation. When your heart has been purified by faith and your mind has been renewed by truth, that is when God whispers to your spirit. Now, sometimes God will let you cross paths with the wrong people first. Not to punish you, but to teach you the value of discernment. Every heartbreak has purpose. Every closed door was divine protection. Every delay was a setup for something greater. When you meet your soulmate, you will finally understand why every other connection had to fail. It will all make sense. The silence, the waiting, the tears. You will see how God was using every disappointment to build the foundation of wisdom in you. Because when the right person enters, you will love with clarity, not with confusion. Your soulmate will recognize your spirit before they recognize your face. There will be a knowing, a peace that doesn't need explanation. You won't need to convince them of your worth or chase their attention. God doesn't build divine unions on insecurity. He builds them on purpose and alignment. The one meant for you will see your light and not feel threatened by it. They will celebrate your strength, not compete with it. They will protect your heart as if it were their own. And you will do the same, because your love will not be based on appearance or emotion. It will be rooted in divine understanding. When God introduces you to your soulmate, it is not a loud event. It is often quiet, subtle, sacred. It might happen during an ordinary day, in an ordinary place, but it will carry extraordinary peace. You will sense that God's hand is in it. There will be no confusion, because God is not the author of confusion. There will be no emotional turbulence, because love from God brings calmness. You will not need to ask, "Is this the one?" Because your spirit will already know. The same peace that guided you through storms will confirm that you have found safe harbor. But here is the truth many overlook. Before God introduces you to your soulmate, He first introduces you to yourself. He reveals your purpose, your weaknesses, your patterns, and your wounds. He shows you the parts of you that need healing, so that you don't project your pain onto your partner. Many people cry out for love while still carrying unhealed scars. But God, in His wisdom, delays the introduction until you have learned to love yourself through His eyes. Because only when you see yourself as worthy of divine love can you attract it without fear or insecurity. Do not despise your waiting season. Every moment of solitude is sacred training. It is during that time that God aligns your energy, matures your faith, and purifies your desires. When you stop searching out of fear and start trusting out of faith, that is when things begin to shift. God does not move through panic. He moves through peace. If you are restless, He will slow things down to protect you. But once your heart is still, once your spirit is anchored in trust, He will move swiftly. The right person will appear suddenly, but their arrival will feel eternal, as if you've known them forever. You may wonder, how will I know? It's from God. The answer is simple: when it's from God, it will not pull you away from Him. It will bring you closer. It will not confuse you, it will clarify you. It will not drain you, it will strengthen you. It will not require you to abandon your purpose. It will align with it. The one meant for you will walk beside you, not ahead of you or behind you. They will speak life into your vision, pray for your peace, and stand firm when challenges arise. Together, you will not just share affection. You will share a mission. Your soulmate is not just someone you love. They are someone you serve alongside. They are the person with whom your calling finds its echo. When God joins two people, it is never for pleasure alone. It is for purpose. You are both designed to magnify something divine together, to impact others, to strengthen faith, to build something that outlives you. That is why God is careful about who He allows into your life. He knows that love can either propel you or paralyze you. And He will never let a love that destroys your destiny take root in your soil. There will be times when you feel forgotten, but God never forgets. He is arranging things beyond what you can see. Your soulmate may be in another season of preparation, walking through their own refinement. God is shaping their heart even as He shapes yours. When the time is right, paths that once seemed separate will converge effortlessly. You won't need to manipulate, chase, or question. God's timing will be perfect. His plan will be clear. His peace will surround it all. Do not compare your journey to others. Some find their soulmate early, others later. But when God is the author of your story, the ending is always worth the wait. The world teaches impatience, God teaches purpose. The world says, find someone fast. God says, wait until the right one finds you. The world chases attraction, God creates alignment. You cannot hurry something that is sacred. If you try to build it before its time, it will crumble under pressure. But when God builds it, it will endure storms, distance, and time. Every time you feel lonely, remember that solitude is not absence. It is preparation. God is teaching you how to be content in His presence, so that when your soulmate arrives, they become a blessing, not a necessity. You must first be filled with divine love before you can share it. That is the mystery of divine connection. Two whole souls meeting, not to complete each other, but to serve together in harmony. When God finally brings that person, you will know, because everything will fall into place without striving. You will realize that your waiting was never wasted. God had been working all along, refining both hearts until they were ready to recognize one another. You will thank Him for every delay, every tear, every closed door. Because it all led you here, to this moment, where divine timing meets divine purpose. Now listen deeply. When God introduces you to your soulmate, protect that connection with prayer. Do not let pride, fear, or outside opinions interfere. Understand that every divine relationship will be tested, not to destroy it, but to strengthen it. Challenges will arise, but when God is the foundation, love will not break under pressure. it will grow stronger. The same God who brought you together will sustain you through every storm. And as you walk together, remember that your love is a reflection of God's love. Patient, enduring, selfless, and kind. You were never meant to chase love in fear. You were meant to receive love in faith. That is how God introduces you to your soulmate. Not through chaos, but through divine peace. Not through chance, but through purpose. Not through desperation, but through destiny. And when it happens, you will know, because your spirit will whisper, "This is what I was waiting for." And now, I want you to understand something deeper, something that few truly grasp. God does not just introduce you to your soulmate for companionship. He does it to fulfill divine purpose. There is a mission behind every sacred union, a reason that goes far beyond romance or emotion. When God unites two souls, He weaves together two destinies. What one lacks, the other carries. What one dreams, the other confirms. What one starts, the other strengthens. This is why God takes so much time preparing both hearts. Because divine love is not a fleeting feeling. It is an eternal partnership designed to advance His plan on earth. When God introduces you to your soulmate, your spirit will feel a divine recognition. It is not about physical attraction first. It is about spiritual confirmation. You will sense a connection that your mind cannot explain, but your heart cannot deny. It will feel as though you have known them beyond time, as if your souls always been intertwined. That is because God designed you with someone in mind, not as a missing piece, but as a divine mirror, someone who reflects back the parts of you that God refined. But let me tell you this, God will not send your soulmate while you are still entertaining counterfeits. He cannot reveal the true while you are distracted by the false. Many people cry that they cannot find the right one, but they are holding tightly to the wrong one. God cannot place something holy in a hand that still clings to what He has already asked you to release. Sometimes the introduction to your soulmate begins with separation. God will take away what was never meant to stay, and though it may hurt, that loss becomes divine preparation. Every goodbye spoken in faith becomes a doorway to a greater hello ordained by heaven. God is not a God of confusion. He is a God of clarity. When the right person enters, you will not have to beg for consistency or prove your worth. The right one will not leave you guessing, because God's order always brings peace. If you have to chase it, fight for attention, or constantly explain yourself, it is not from God. The one He sends will come with understanding, with effort, and with mutual respect. You will see reflection, not perfection, but direction. Together, you will walk in alignment toward a shared destiny, not competing, not controlling, but complementing each other with grace. And understand this powerful truth: before God introduces you to your soulmate, He tests your loyalty to Him. He watches how you love when there is no one to love you back. He observes how you stay faithful even when you feel forgotten. Because if you cannot love God in your loneliness, you will not know how to love your soulmate with purity. God trains your heart in the solitude of waiting, teaching you patience, discipline, and gratitude, so that when love comes, you will cherish it, not idolize it. You will serve it, not possess it. Because divine love is not about ownership. It is about stewardship. Your soulmate is not a fantasy God creates to make you comfortable. They are a reality He ordains to make you fruitful. You are meant to build together, to pray together, to grow together, and to carry divine responsibility together. Will not unite you for mere pleasure. He will unite you for purpose. This is why the one He chooses will not distract you from your calling. They will deepen it. You will inspire each other to rise higher, to stand stronger, and to walk closer with God. Your relationship will not revolve around insecurity, but around faith. It will not be built on fleeting emotion, but on spiritual conviction. And when the enemy tries to divide what God has joined, you will not crumble because your foundation is divine. When God is the center, storms cannot destroy you, they only refine you. You will face challenges, yes, but those challenges will become sacred fire that purifies your love. You will learn forgiveness, you will learn endurance, and through every trial, you will learn that divine love is not fragile, it is fortified by faith. When two souls anchored in God walk together, even their silence becomes prayer, and their unity becomes testimony. Do not rush this process. Many are so eager to be chosen that they forget to be prepared. You cannot demand a divine relationship while living with undisciplined emotions. You cannot pray for a godly connection while ignoring the character it requires. God does not give His treasures to the unready. He will test your patience to reveal your maturity. He will test your faith to reveal your trust. And when your soul learns to rest in Him without anxiety or complaint, He will move suddenly, introducing you to the one He crafted for you long before time began. The introduction may not happen in a grand way. It could be through a simple moment, a quiet meeting, or an unexpected encounter. But do not underestimate God's subtlety. He works in divine precision, not in noise. You may think it's coincidence, but later you look back and see His fingerprints over every detail. God arranges the timing so perfectly that not even 1 second is wasted. He will ensure that both hearts are ready, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, so that when they meet, the connection will not be rushed, it will be right. And here is another truth you must hold tightly. God does not pair you with someone based only on attraction or compatibility. He pairs you based on assignment. The right one will carry the strength you lack and need for your destiny. They will challenge your comfort zones, not to hurt you, but to grow you. They will not compete with your light. They will stand beside it, protecting it, nurturing it, and shining with it. This kind of connection is divine partnership. It is two souls walking with one purpose: to glorify God through their union. You see, divine introductions are sacred. They are not forced by dating apps, desperate prayers, or manipulation. They happen through alignment. God aligns seasons, aligns hearts, aligns paths. Sometimes what you call delay is God aligning your steps with someone else's preparation. He is preparing both of you for the divine moment when your eyes will meet and your souls will recognize each other. That recognition is not magic, it is divine memory. The memory of two spirits that were created to walk together, finally converging in God's perfect time. And I say this with authority. When it is from God, you will not have to fear losing it. You will not have to beg for love that was written by His hand. What He ordains, He sustains. What He promises, He protects. What He blesses, He multiplies. If you ever have to chase peace, it is not from God. Divine love does not run from you. It meets you halfway. It does not confuse you. It clarifies you. It does not drain you. It strengthens you. When God is in it, you will feel at rest even while waiting. Do not listen to the world that tells you love is luck or chance. Love is divine strategy. God knows the rhythm of your heart better than you do. He knows who will understand your silence, who will pray when you cannot, who will remind you of His promises when you forget. That is why He takes His time. He is not delaying. He is designing. Every delay is construction in progress. Every tear is watering the soil of your future joy. Every lonely night is shaping the strength you will one day need to protect what He gives you. When God introduces you to your soulmate, it will not be because you beg it. It will be because you became ready. The introduction is the reward for spiritual readiness. You cannot meet divine love while walking in doubt. You cannot receive divine connection while carrying bitterness. God must first remove the residue of your past. He must cleanse the wounds that caused you to love from pain instead of peace. Only then can He release what is sacred into your life. Because divine love is holy ground, and you must enter it barefoot, free from pride, ego, and fear. There will come a moment when everything aligns. The timing, the energy, the readiness, and suddenly there they will be. Not as a stranger, but as a missing melody your soul already knew. You will not need to ask God to confirm it 1,000 times. Your peace will be the confirmation. You will feel the same calm that comes when a prayer is answered. It will not shout for attention. It will speak quietly, and yet it will command your whole being to listen. And then you will understand why God made you wait. You will understand why it took so long, why every other door had to close. Because when you finally stand before what was meant for you, you will realize that nothing was lost. Every delay was protection. Every disappointment was redirection. Every lonely season was preparation. God had not forgotten you. He was aligning you. So, do not lose faith while waiting. Do not question God's timing. Your story is being written with divine precision. Every day you stay faithful, you move closer to that moment of introduction. Every act of obedience, every prayer, every tear, it all draws you nearer. God is not silent, He is strategic. He knows where your soulmate is right now, what they're learning, what they're letting go of, and how they're growing. Trust that while you are praying for them, they are also being shaped for you. And when that introduction happens, let love remain rooted in God. Do not let the beauty of the connection make you forget the one who created it. The same God who brought it together must remain the foundation that keeps it strong. Keep Him in the center of every conversation, every decision, every plan. For love that begins in God can only grow in His presence. Because when God introduces you to your soulmate, it is not merely the meeting of two people. It is the merging of two destinies, the uniting of two prayers, the fulfillment of two journeys that were always meant to meet at the altar of divine timing. And when that moment arrives, you will not just find love, you will find purpose, peace, and proof that God always keeps His promises. When God begins to align your life with your soulmate, He doesn't do it through chaos or confusion. He does it through order, through divine orchestration. God never introduces destiny in the noise. He introduces destiny in stillness. When your heart has learned to rest in Him, when you no longer chase validation or search for affection in every direction, that's when God begins to whisper, "No, you are ready." You see, a soulmate is not someone who completes your emptiness. It's someone who reflects your wholeness. God will never join two broken souls to make a whole. He joins two complete spirits who have both been refined by waiting, by surrender, and by faith. There comes a sacred point when God looks at your life and says, "You have passed the test of isolation. You have endured the season of silence. You have grown in obedience and learned to listen." And when that moment arrives, He moves swiftly. Suddenly, paths cross without explanation, timings align with perfection, and what once felt delayed begins to feel divinely on time. That is how God introduces you to your soulmate. Not through human manipulation or emotional desperation, but through divine timing and spiritual readiness. Many people ask, "Why hasn't God introduced me to my soulmate yet?" And the answer lies not in the absence of the person, but in the preparation of your spirit. God's greatest introductions come after the deepest purification. He will not allow you to meet the right person while carrying the wrong mindset. He will not unite you with destiny when you are still bound by the habits of your past. God prepares your heart before He presents your blessing. Sometimes the waiting is not a delay. It is divine protection. God is not withholding your soulmate from you. He is protecting your future from premature exposure. When God introduces you to your soulmate, it won't be through 1,000 words. It will be through peace. The connection will feel sacred, not impulsive. It will not come from lust, attraction, or convenience. It will come from divine confirmation. God will align your spirit with theirs, and your souls will recognize each other, not because of history, but because of divine destiny. There will be a knowing in your heart that this connection carries purpose. God does not waste divine unions on temporary emotions. He joins two souls that will serve a higher purpose together. Two people who will honor Him in unity, who will walk in purpose, and who will protect each other's peace. When God is about to introduce your soulmate, He often isolates you first. He removes the wrong people, closes unnecessary doors, and silences the noise that once distracted you. This isolation is not punishment, it's positioning. God is setting the stage for divine introduction. It is in solitude that you learn to discern His voice, to recognize His hand, and to understand His timing. When you stop begging for love and start building your spirit, that's when God begins to move. The introduction of your soulmate doesn't start with meeting them. It starts with meeting yourself, the version of you that God designed before the world wounded you. Sometimes God allows you to meet your soulmate in an unexpected place at an unexpected time through an unexpected situation. Because destiny doesn't follow human logic. You might think you're just passing through a season, but God is writing a story. Every step you take in obedience becomes a doorway to divine encounter. God does not introduce your soulmate when you are searching the loudest. He introduces them when you are walking in quiet faith. He will make sure that when you meet, it's not by coincidence, it's by divine confirmation. The very peace in your spirit will testify that this connection was written long before time began. And yet, before the introduction, there must be pruning. God will strip away every false attachment, every counterfeit connection, every emotional dependency that could blind you from recognizing what is real. Because if your heart is still holding on to something that God has already released, you won't have the space to receive the one He is sending. The process may hurt, but it's holy. The loneliness may sting, but it's sacred. Every ending orchestrated by God carries a divine beginning within it. When one person leaves and peace follows, that's not rejection, it's redirection. God is clearing the path so that the right person can find you without obstruction. When God introduces you to your soulmate, the encounter will be more spiritual than physical. It will feel like your souls have met before, like a conversation between spirits that have been waiting to unite for purpose. You'll sense divine alignment rather than emotional infatuation. And here's the truth. God will never send your soulmate to heal your wounds. He will send them to grow your purpose. They will not arrive to fill a void, but to expand your calling. God joins two lives that together can accomplish what neither could alone. The bond will carry peace, direction, and purpose, all anchored in God. Your soulmate is not someone you chase, it's someone you attract through your alignment with God. When your heart is anchored in faith, when your actions honor God, and your spirit is guided by His wisdom, you become magnetic to what is meant for you. Divine attraction is not about looks or status, it's about alignment. The same God who designed your destiny has also designed your soulmate to complement it. And when you finally step into obedience and purpose, your paths converge without effort. God orchestrates divine meetings where human effort would have failed. So if you're still waiting, don't rush. Because in the waiting, God is writing. He is scripting a story more beautiful than anything you could imagine. He is preparing your heart to love selflessly, to recognize purity, to appreciate commitment. You will not have to question if it's from God. You will know because it will carry peace, purpose, and presence. The peace will confirm it. The purpose will sustain it. The presence of God will protect it. When it's divine, it doesn't demand, it flows. It doesn't drain, it fills. It doesn't confuse, it clarifies. Before God introduces your soulmate, He first introduces you to your worth. Because if you don't know your value, you will mishandle what He sends. Many lose divine connections, not because they weren't meant to be, but because they weren't ready to receive them. God will train your heart to love with patience, not possession, to serve with humility, not pride, to protect, not control. The soulmate God sends is not a replacement for Him. It's a reflection of His wisdom, an instrument through which His love is experienced in human form. But make no mistake, God must remain the center. Because if you ever elevate a human above the Creator, the relationship will crumble under misplaced worship. When God introduces you to your soulmate, you'll realize why every other connection didn't work. You'll see the divine wisdom in every heartbreak, every delay, every closed door. You'll understand that God was not ignoring your prayers. He was perfecting your timing. The moment you meet the one God has chosen, you will thank Him for every moment of waiting. Because you will see that He was not late. He was aligning. The introduction will not feel rushed or chaotic. It will feel destined, ordained, inevitable. That is the beauty of divine timing. When God moves, everything aligns. Your emotions, your peace, your purpose. You won't have to manipulate the connection. It will flow naturally because it was designed in heaven long before it manifested on earth. God's hand will be evident. The peace will be undeniable. And the union will be unstoppable, because what God joins together, no human force can tear apart. When God finally introduces you to your soulmate, it will not be just the meeting of two hearts. It will be the collision of two destinies. It will be a divine moment when heaven whispers, "Now the time has come." You will stand in awe, realizing that every season of waiting, every prayer whispered through tears, every lonely night that tested your faith, all of it was necessary. God was never silent, He was sculpting you. God was never delaying, He was preparing you. You will see that His timing was not just perfect, it was protective. And in that moment, you will understand something profound. Your soulmate was never the goal. God was. It was in seeking Him that you found yourself. And it was in finding yourself that He could finally reveal the one who was written for you. Love, in its truest and purest form, is not discovered. It is revealed by God. When two souls are aligned with His purpose, love becomes more than emotion. It becomes a spiritual covenant, an instrument through which God's light is multiplied on earth. So if you are still in the waiting season, hold your head high and keep your spirit steadfast. Do not lower your standards to meet human timelines. Do not chase what is not sent by God. Let your faith become your filter and your peace become your confirmation. The one that God sends will not confuse your heart or disturb your spirit. They will draw you closer to purpose. When God writes your story, you will not have to edit it with fear or force.